Welcome to Poker Market, making poker more efficient.
Hey guys, so before I get into this hand, I'm going to start with a little story. So I think it was back in 2006, I was playing NL200 on full tilt, and I really wasn't very good at it. And back in 2006, I watched an instructional video which told me that after pre-flop raising, and someone calls, you should actually bet on the flop, and they called this continuation betting, even when you have no hand. Because it's likely that your opponent has no good hand either, and it's likely they're going to fold. So I started trying that back in 2006, and I was like, wow, that's good advice. That really does work. So the issue is now it's 2014. Games are obviously completely different, and there's actually very little folding going on, even when someone has good. There's a lot of floating going on. There's very little folding. And more importantly, I think pretty much everyone plays the same way in poker nowadays. Most players are pretty much programmed to play effectively for what I would call a normal style of play, a normal style of c-betting, different textures, different number of barrels, etc. So what we need to do, we need to throw something at players now that's going to completely take them out of their comfort zone, something they're not used to seeing, something they're not used to dealing with on a normal basis. And when we do this, it's really going to cause your opponents to make a lot more mistakes, and we are going to, in turn, print money when they make those mistakes. So let's get into this hand here. We'll start with 3 hands, and then we're going to move on to some other hands. So, player steals from the button. I'm going to go for a 3-bet bluff. Didn't work. I got flatted. We completely missed the flop. So what I've been doing lately is I've been playing a new variation. This is just a variant. I'm not saying this should be your absolute style forever and ever. This is just a variation. I would more look at it as a very effective new tactic to add to your arsenal of tactics. So what I've been doing is I am absolutely never c-betting versus certain types of regulars, and by certain types I mean most regulars, like most normal regulars who have less than a 50% fold to c-bet in 3-bet pot on flop and turn. I mean, obviously, if someone has a very high fold to c-bet, if they're already very exploitable, you can certainly bet versus them. But versus normal regulars who don't really like to fold a lot of hands in position, what I'm doing is I'm checking 100% of my range. So in this case versus player, let's take a look. So this is exactly the type of player I'm talking about. Fold to c-bet and 3-bet pot, 33 on the flop, 38 on the turn. Really no sample at all on the river. Obviously, this guy does not really like to fold that often, like most regulars nowadays. So versus these types of players, I am now checking 100% of my range. I'm checking my complete air. I'm checking my mediocre hands. I'm checking top set. I'm checking the stuff